What is going on, everybody, and welcome on in to a special holiday edition of the Garage Beers podcast. Again, not coming to you live here this week. As we told you last week, we are recording this episode and we're just releasing it out there on YouTube and Twitch and all the podcast hosts so you can enjoy it at your own time, as our normal go live time would be on Christmas Eve at 9 p.m. And if you are not drunk and happy at that point, you shouldn't be joining us. You should be doing other things Christmas Eve at 9 p.m. So we're letting you enjoy this episode 295 on your own time. We have got a lot to get to on this episode. We're going to talk about the college football playoffs. Ohio State finally in the mix after the bye week. We'll talk about everything that went down week one of the college football playoff and all the other storylines in college football. We will also go around the NFL. We'll talk about the Browns, their game against the Buffalo Bills, what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like, all of that. And then we'll do some quick hitters about the Cleveland Guardians. We'll actually get into that for a minute. We'll talk about the Cavs, the Blue Jackets, and so much more. So we're glad you're joining us here on episode 295. If you're watching us, check out the QR code at the top left of the screen. That gets you to the OBR subscription page. So scan that QR code on your phone, get over to the OBR.com, hit subscribe, and you can become a part of the oldest, largest independent Browns coverage site in all of Cleveland. Plus, you get to hang with us. And we don't always talk Browns. We talk a lot of stuff, but we're still part of the OBR, so make sure you check them out. And while you do that, make sure you hit subscribe and you hit like wherever you are checking this out here. With you, as always, I'm your host, Michael Keefe, joining me tonight in the garage, and it's just the two of us tonight. I'm kind of excited about it because almost 6 years ago, actually probably exactly 6 years ago right now, the two of us had a conversation about starting a podcast, and who knew 295 episodes in and 6 years later, here's where we would be. But joining me over on the east side of Cleveland is Chad Meyer. What's up, Chad?
Oh, I'm just sitting here watching Phillip Rivers' Jared Lorenzen looking ass try to play quarterback in the NFL again. I just watched him get straight bull rushed, and he just could not move. Like, he could not move at all.
Is there a good explanation for this? What's happening here?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know, but it's making me think I could get out there and do it. So he's kind of an inspiration. 1 year older than me. I could put on the pads again and last exactly 1.5 plays. That's about it.
But he's a guy that hasn't played football in 5 years.
Yeah.
And this is an Indianapolis Colts team that was one of the hottest teams all season.
Yeah.
And they, right now, if the season ended right now, they'd be the first team out of the playoffs. They're really the only team in the AFC, one of two teams that are not currently in the playoffs that are also not eliminated. Like Indianapolis, still very much alive. What's happening here?
I don't know, but he's not playing that bad. He's like, this was the last offense he was in 5 years ago before he walked off the field. So, yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I'm good, man. A long weekend in Montana. It's my new favorite rivalry in college football.
Yeah, how was it?
I love that atmosphere. Was absolutely electric. If you ever find yourself in Montana for a game, just go. It's worth it. 124 years of this game going on. And they play for just this gigantic 500-pound trophy. No, literally, it is 300 pounds. Obviously, they didn't do it now because it was the FCS semifinals. But yeah, dude, these guys just genuinely hate each other. But then all the fans, the entire state shows up. And then they hate each other during the game. But afterwards, they all go out to the bars and just drink.
Speaking of that, you got a little taste of that, yeah? You got a little taste of Bozeman, Montana?
Yeah, I sure did. Man, I've been to both now. I've been to Missoula and Bozeman, and both very different places, but both not. There's no shortage of beer or whiskey or bourbon. Hey, bourbon, yeah. Speaking of which, I had myself some smoked bison ribs out there from a place where you would enjoy because it was just simply called Bourbon. That's what the bar was called.
Simple. I love that simplicity. Let's go.
That's it.
Hey, what can I?
Barbecue and bourbon.
What kind of drinks? What kind of drinks you got here?
Huh?
Do you guys got vodka?
Yeah. He's gonna get a Tito's and no.
I'll have a Long Island.
Okay. Yeah. No, but it was delicious. I had some huckleberry cheesecake because that's what they're. So two things they're known for. I was looking up what they're looking: bison and huckleberries. I had some huckleberry cheesecake. Damn. Unbelievable. I hope I get to work this thing again because it was amazing.
Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. Well, welcome back. Glad you're back down to the tropics down here in Ohio.
Yeah.
But listen, before we get going here for episode 295, again, it's just going to be me and Chad on this episode. And again, it is a special episode. And we do want to say right from the jump, special episode this week, no episode next week. So we will not have an episode the week before Christmas and New Year's. Just take the week off. Enjoy a little vacation time with your family. Enjoy the last week of having to think about the Cleveland Browns again, I guess, for the season. And then we will back up with you. I believe it's on the 7th. We'll be live again January 7th. That's a Wednesday, first show of the new year, as we go hurtling towards Jesus Christ, Chad.
Excuse me.
Right into the microphone as we go hurtling towards episode 300. So, Chad, we can't kick things off. I mean, we know it's not a normal episode. We're not live streaming. We don't have our normal group of our favorite people joining us in the chat, but we still got to do our garage beers of the week. So, Chad, why don't you lead us off, man? Did you bring anything back from Montana? What's the garage beer of the week?
No, I didn't have time. But Sam Adams, Jack-o'-lantern, pumpkin ale.
Hey, all right. It's Benjamin Buttoning this shit.
Screw it. I mean,
all right.
You're lucky enough I'm drinking anything tonight. So I just found this and here we are.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. It's such an inconvenience for you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Knock that shit off.
You're welcome.
Nothing wrong with a little Jacko, a little Sam Adams Jacko for a big old jag-off over there.
Hey-o.
Big old jag-off. All right. For me, I stopped at the store and decided I wanted to try to find something new. And I got this beer from Schlafly. I don't really know how to say it, to be honest with you. Schlafly. It's out of St. Louis.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I feel like it's a brewery that's very well known. I just don't know how to say the damn name. I don't know how to say it. But this is their Christmas ale, and it's delicious. It's a great Christmas ale.
It probably is. Probably is some super popular down there. Like if you went to St. Louis, they'd be like, "Oh, Schlafly." Yeah, we know that.
You don't know how to say Schlafly or whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't know.
No, Schlafly, terrible fucking beer, but it's everywhere.
This is a warming winter ale that blends the spices of the season. 8%. Okay. And it's delicious. And I like to be honest with you, I love the can art. Just give me a Christmas tree. Just a straight up Christmas tree.
The bottle art.
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
bottle. Yeah, sorry, it's a bottle. What is
Are your
this?
cockles warmed?
I've warmed a cockle here.
Nice. Hell yeah. All right.
Cockles and mussels.
Hey,
Alibo.
Oh,
those are our garage beers of the week. Let us know what your garage beers of the week are here this Christmas week. And we do want to start with that. We hope you are getting a little time at home with the family or friends or whoever you spend your holidays with. But really glad you're joining us here for episode 295 of Garage Beers on this special week. Again, Christmas coming up on Thursday. And just hope you have a wonderful holiday season. We're going to get that holiday season kicked off, Chad, by talking about the college football playoff. It started this weekend, and it started Friday night. And the first game of the college football playoff, the Oklahoma Sooners and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Oklahoma got out to a great start in that game. It looked kind of like, we had talked about it going in to the playoff. Alabama has just not looked good.
no.
Coming down the stretch, they haven't looked like a team that's ready to really compete. And then Oklahoma kicks that game off, Chad, in Norman by really kind of blowing the doors off Alabama to start that game.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, here come the Crimson Tide. I think defensively, I think they played phenomenal. I think they really forced John Mateer. I don't like John Mateer at all.
No.
They really forced him into to really trying to do so much that he did nothing virtually the rest of the game. Their offense came alive, and the Alabama Crimson Tide wound up winning that, not comfortably. I wouldn't say they won it comfortably, but it was a decisive victory for Alabama over Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma, they got out to a wild start, right? It looked like they were going to run away with it, but Alabama just wasn't ready to play in that first half. But they made some nice adjustments at halftime and completely shut down that offense, right? I mean, if John Mateer is a two-trick pony, right? If he's not running, he's firing. I mean, firing wide receiver screens or hitch routes or something short, right? He's not a good vertical pass. He's not good in the vertical passing game. He's an RPO type quarterback. Like I said, he's a one trick pony. And if you force him into situations that he's not comfortable in, which Alabama did that entire second half, you're going to come back on that team. And that's exactly what Alabama did. Ty Simpson was able to kind of settle in right after the adjustments they made, because Oklahoma, that first half, Oklahoma was just relentlessly pressuring Ty Simpson.
Yes.
Forcing him out of the pocket and making he didn't make bad decisions, right? He just was trying to make something out of nothing. And, Oklahoma really played well defensively in that first half. But yeah, Alabama just locked it down there in the second.
Yeah, they were, I don't know, that game started and I thought, well, everybody that has a gripe about Alabama is going to be real loud about that. But
yeah,
they showed you again. First of all, I think it's hard to beat a team twice in a year, period.
For sure.
But they came out and they did what they had to do. Oklahoma, it's a sad day for Sooners fans because, man, oh, man, that first half hour of watching that game, you thought, all right, Oklahoma's cruising to the second round of this playoff. And Alabama just put their foot down and said no. And I guess this is the only question I have about Alabama, Chad. Nick Saban goes, they bring in DeBoer. You have these weird conversations. Like this Michigan thing is so funny to me because they're like, we'll just get DeBoer from Alabama. And I'm like, I don't know if you realize, Michigan, what position you've put yourself in here, but I don't think you're going to get Kalen DeBoer to leave Alabama. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But
I mean, if it was under normal circumstances, maybe, but they're just going to be like, oh, yeah, we'll just go grab DeBoer, who's in the middle of an 8-year contract at Alabama. Yeah,
at Alabama. And he's if you were an Alabama fan, are you starting to get comfortable with him as your coach? Because it's been a hectic start for him. Obviously, you come off of Nick Saban, and there is no guy that's going to come in there and fill those shoes. Those are unfillable shoes.
That's why they took forever to fill them.
It's been a bit of a hectic start for DeBoer. Are you starting to get a little more comfortable with him if you're an Alabama fan?
I don't know, because I think Alabama fans still at the point where they're spoiled, right? Because at 3 losses, is too much. You're right. It's too much if you're an Alabama fan, right? When you're Alabama, you know, not to quote some douchebag, but you don't play for 9-3, right? You don't play for 9-3. You play for 11-1, 12-0. That's the standard at Alabama that Nick Saban has set, unfortunately. So I don't know if you're comfortable yet with Kalen DeBoer. I think if I'm an Alabama fan, I would like to see. I would like it not to get so dicey during the regular season. I would like to see a little bit more dominance during the regular season. But I will say, being in the playoff and coming back against a very good Oklahoma team after the start that they got out on, I'm starting to get encouraged. I don't know if I'm getting comfortable, but I'm starting to be encouraged.
So Alabama punches their ticket. We'll talk about their game in the Rose Bowl against Indiana. What a game that is going to be. I can't wait for that game. The second game, I have been trying to avoid talking about it the whole time, but we've got to. The second game, the first game was competitive and fun. The second game, which was noon on Saturday, was competitive, not all that fun, though. Just not one of the most fun games you'll ever watch of football, as Texas A&M hosts Miami. And, man, I was nervous about it going in. All I wanted was to be able to one time watch Texas A&M take on Ohio State, and instead, all I can say, so Miami wins the game 10-3. That's the final score of that fucking football game. They win the game 10-3. All I can say from my point of view, and you tell me if this makes sense to you after having at least paid attention to the game a little bit, Chad. I know you were busy Saturday, but paying attention to it a little bit. Man, oh man, did I feel like the way I felt as an Ohio State fan with Ryan Day coaching against Michigan the last 4 years or 5 years or whatever before this year. I felt like nothing A&M did was to put themselves in a position to win. And I was screaming, like I wasn't really screaming at my TV, but I wanted to be screaming at my TV, just stop doing what you're doing, because everything that you've done to get you to this point, you're just not doing it anymore. You're no longer doing it. I said it, Chad. I said it as we broke down this playoffs, and I've said it all year long. Texas A&M has the best wide receiver group in the country that isn't in Columbus. The only wide receiver group that is better than A&M's in the country is in Columbus. Otherwise, College Station is wide receiver central. They have got unbelievable talent on the outside. And then they go into this game against Miami, and it's just check down, throw it into the flat, throw it into the flat, short pass, get the ball out of Marcel Reed's hands. And I understand the thought process behind it, but here's the problem. Marcel Reed's an inaccurate quarterback. He is much more accurate throwing the ball down the field than he is throwing the ball short. We've seen it all season. He's a very good deep passer. He's a very poor short passer. And so what'd you do? You drew up an entire short passing game for Marcel Reed. So, A, he just had a ton of incompletions that were easy passes. But also, B, he completed some passes that an accurate quarterback would have picked up like a decent amount of yards on. But instead, there were a couple to Mario Craver just out into the flat. Mario Craver had to like jump backwards and like one-hand the ball behind him. If he would have just like put it on his numbers, it's a gain of 10 yards. But instead it was a gain of like a yard because Mario Craver had to like catch the ball wild and like set himself and figure out which direction he was facing before he could start running. I just hated the game plan from A&M. I think they played scared at home, not to lose. It's everything I thought, Chad, about Ohio State, Michigan before this year.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's defensive struggles, right? But there's defensive struggles. How do I put this? There's defensive struggles. There's defensive games with exciting offense going on in it, right?
Yes.
But then there's defensive struggles that are just sloppy. And that's what this game was to me, right? Like that Bears and Packers game the other night, right? That was a defensive struggle, but there was still all sorts of exciting football going on.
Yes.
This was nothing. Like, I mean, you talk about Marcel Reed. I mean, you see why he's coming back next year. Like everything you just mentioned, you see why he's coming back next year. He's got to work on that part of his game, right? He's got to work on that part of his game. And it almost feels like to me that one thing that I hadn't really noticed all year, he doesn't throw with any anticipation.
No,
like
my God.
He doesn't see routes until they're there, until they're open. So yeah, I don't know if I didn't like that. I thought Miami was really aggressive, and I think that this short passing game was due in part to them being a little scared of that Miami pass rush. And Miami's secondary played well. They played they roughed up A&M. That defense roughed up A&M at the line of scrimmage, and so it was just a sloppy, like unenjoyable football game to watch. And there's a lot of things. If you're A&M, what a disappointing way to end the season. After that loss to Texas, and now you come out here looking like this in the playoff game. It's a lot to work on in the offseason. And Marcel Reed has all the potential in the world, but if he's going to become a complete quarterback, if Texas A&M is going to compete for national championships, you got to be better than that. You got to be better than that. If he can improve his short to intermediate passing game, I think Texas A&M is a national championship contender absolutely next year. But it all hinges on him. I mean, I know Concepcion just declared for the draft, but they've got other Mario Kramer, the Bethel Roman, Shamel Roman, Lanolin, like sheep's wool Roman.
Yep, nailed it.
Guy, is coming back. So I mean, there's going to be plenty there for him, plenty of weapons surrounding him next year. It's just a matter of can he go take it to that next level.
Yeah, well, they're going to have a new offensive coordinator. Their offensive coordinator is taking the head coaching job of Kansas State, but I feel like that's probably not the worst thing in the world after what we saw. On the other side, though, listen, you got to give credit to Miami. One, you saw why Ruben Bain is slated to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. He was awesome in that game, but not just him. Really, Miami controlled the line of scrimmage. And here's the other thing. This was a frustrating thing as an A&M fan. It's Carson Beck, man. Like big games, normally you get him into big games and you can force him into mistakes. A&M just could not force him into mistakes. He just wouldn't. He didn't really need to do much. Yeah. Miami controlled the line so much. They ran the ball all over A&M, and he didn't have to do much. If you're A&M, you have to stop the run and make him try to beat you because he will make mistakes, and they did not allow him to make any mistakes. So Miami beats A&M 10-3 in an ugly game, in a game that Miami fans will argue that it should have been a bigger spread than it was because of all the freaking missed field goals. Man, oh man, that kid missed every field goal. And A&M will argue that it should have been an A&M win. Here's the last thing I'll say. Chad, I know you were getting ready for the game. Did you watch like the end of the game?
Did I watch the end of the game? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I've got a gripe.
Okay.
Marcel Reed's the biggest reason Texas A&M lost the game.
Wait, Mike, the Festivus episode was last week.
I got another gripe. Marcel Reed is to me the biggest reason they lost. I think Klein is the other biggest reason, the offensive coordinator that's moving on to Kansas State. The other biggest reason they lost. The game plans, all that were the biggest reasons they lost. So don't get me wrong here, because I'll never really put the officials on blast for being the biggest reason somebody lost a game, but it's 10-3. A&M's got the ball. They march it inside the 10-yard line. They're down to the 6, I think, or the 7 or something like that. And Marcel Reed throws a pass over the middle that Miami's defender smashes into the intended receiver. Straight shot, helmet to helmet, launched off his feet, knocked himself out, Chad. He knocked himself out.
Yeah.
No flag. And nobody talked about it. Like, listen, you can say, well, A&M should have made more plays to just win the game before that. And I agree with that. But why did nobody talk? I don't know why nobody talked about it. Like, that felt like the biggest targeting call of all time. A&M should have had the ball first and goal from the 2 or 3 yard line. And instead, it was just like, those two guys got knocked out. Well, on our way.
Well, the A&M kid's helmet shouldn't have been standing there. That's really why no flag was thrown, Mike.
Really good point.
No, yeah. I mean, that seemed fairly obvious to me. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe it's because he didn't lead with the crown of his helmet. I mean, it was a helmet-to-helmet thing. It was a helmet-to-helmet call, but I think like one of the major criterias of targeting is lowering your head, hitting with the crown of the blah 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 blah. Maybe that's it, but there was no reason for there to be no flag thrown at all, right? I don't know if it was necessarily targeting or helmet to helmet, but there was no reason for no flag to be thrown at all.
Yeah, well, I didn't like it, and it's not the reason A&M lost the game.
I didn't like it.
But I think they should have had a chance to tie that thing up, and they didn't. Anyways, Miami moves on to play Ohio State. We'll get to that game in a bit. All right, moving on. Then we have the two, and this is, to me, the most interesting talking point of the entire first round of the playoffs. You have the two group of 5 teams against the 2 Power 5 teams. You have James Madison going out to Eugene to play Oregon in a game that Oregon won by a lot of points, but I think JMU was pretty impressive in the game, to be honest. I think it just was, you just saw a team filled with 4 or 5-star talent going up against James Madison. But otherwise, I think James Madison was pretty impressive in that game. And then you've got down in the Grove, you've got Ole Miss taking on Tulane again. I didn't think there was a lot impressive about Tulane. I think Ole Miss just diced them up, ran away with that game. That just wasn't even all that fun. And so the two group of 5 teams are out. They both lost by a lot of touchdowns. And I think it brings up a conversation that needs to be had, Chad.
Sure.
And I think every team should have the big ultimate goal to play for. It was always my gripe when I was at Bowling Green was, okay, great. Like, we hosted game day. We were going up against Ben Roethlisberger. Like, we were a top 15 team in the country. But the ultimate goal is, you get to play in the Motor City Bowl. Okay, what does that do for? Oh, you were MAC runner-up. Congrats, and you get to play in the Motor City Bowl. Or you even take Miami in those years. I think they played the Liberty Bowl with Ben Roethlisberger. They won the MAC. They were awesome. And it was like, all right, cool, you play in the Liberty Bowl. I think the group of 5 schools should have a national championship to play for. I just, now as much as ever, Chad, and I'll let you agree or disagree however you want, I just don't think it's this national championship. I think they should split this.
No, I completely agree. I mean, I'm all for the group of 5 teams playing for something bigger. I'm in complete agreement with that. I don't think it feels like there's no point to these teams even playing a season if all they're going to do is at the end is play in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, right? And have Pop-Tart helmets and like some gimmicky things. I mean, it's a nice way to have a postseason for these schools, but ultimately, I mean, all of these teams in the group of 5, especially, that's really the only thing you're targeting here, because Division II, FCS, Division III, they all have national championships that they're going to play for. But the group of 5 doesn't. And I think you would have some exciting football if you were able to, if you did do that. Yeah. Tulane did not belong for sure. I thought JMU moved the ball quite effectively, actually. They just couldn't finish drives. Yes. I thought that quarterback was playing very smart. I loved what they did, mixing up formations, not making Oregon think every time their defense was on the field. I think that first or second drive, I didn't see the same formation once. So I did. I thought JMU did pretty well, but it just, in the end, it's just talent. When it comes to Power 4 and group of 5 teams, talent is going to outweigh the work every time. Talent is going to outweigh the hard work every time, and it just showed, right? Like, but I would be all for a separate group of 5 national championship. Mike, I mean, would you? I would watch the shit out of a JMU Tulane group of 5 national championship, 1,000%. I mean, when you think of all the other teams that they were looking at too, like who was like the 4 teams? It was like Tulane,
North
JMU,
Texas.
huh? Yeah, North Texas.
Yeah,
like that would have been exciting as hell. A group of 5 tournament like that.
I agree. Like, you don't have to separate them. Meaning, like during the regular season, North Texas can still play Texas, or Tulane can still play Ole Miss, or whatever. Yes. You don't have to separate them. But I just, you get to the end of it. And listen, the group of 5, there's 70 teams.
Right.
In the group of 5, something like that.
Yeah.
Make a 12-team conference.
Yeah.
A 12-team playoff.
Yeah, I guess that's what I meant.
Whatever, who cares?
But
now you take the group of 5 conference winners and you give them an automatic bid. So now all of a sudden the MAC champion gets an automatic bid. And the Mountain West champion gets an automatic bid. And who else? The Sun Belt Conference they all get automatic bids and go play for a national championship.
Yeah.
And it counts. Listen, we're giving out Super Bowls to a league that has 32 teams. There's 70 group of 5 teams. If you're in that playoff and you win it, that is a national championship, and it's worthy of being a national championship. I think there needs to be something in place that allows for movement, because we've seen how group of 5 teams can turn into Power 5 teams, and Power 5 teams can turn into group of 5 teams. And we've seen how that movement can go. So I think there needs to be a contingency plan for that. But like, Chad, no offense to Tulane or JMU. Again, I think JMU put on a hell of a show. I don't think Tulane did, but I think JMU did. But would you have rather watched Oregon versus Notre Dame or Oregon versus JMU? I'd rather watch Oregon Notre Dame. Would you rather watch Ole Miss versus BYU, or Ole Miss versus I don't know, insert whatever next team out there, or Ole Miss versus Tulane? I'd rather watch the Power 5 teams. I want to root for the group of 5 teams. I want to root for the underdogs, but the fact of the matter is this isn't basketball. And in football, you're much more likely to just see the better team win a football game.
Yeah.
And especially when the talent disparity, and especially when like the NIL disparity and all that is there, I think this should get separated out. I think these teams deserve to play for national titles. I just don't think it should be in this bracket.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I guess that's what I meant from before. You don't need to separate them as far as still have your out of conference games, right? Because that's where these teams become the Cinderellas, right? Like the Northern Illinois beating the Notre Dames, right? The Appalachian States beating Michigan. Like I think Toledo beat like Kansas State or something, you know, but that's where these guys become Cinderellas. But as far as the playoff goes, these group of 5 teams just can't hang with the upper echelon Power 4 teams. So, yeah, absolutely. I would be all for a group of 5 tournament. You don't need to separate them, but like separate them when it comes to playoffs.
I think it's fun. I think that's fun.
For sure.
Roll with it. And
more football. Fuck it.
But I think it's fun to say, cool, you guys all scrambled and competed and all that for where you got. And now it's we're going to put you where you belong and you go for a national championship. I think it's great. I think they should do that.
And then you can keep the bowls as well, like how they keep these bowls, right? Like you can go to the Motor City Bowl for the first round of the playoff. You can go to the whatever, you know, the ace.com OnlyFans Bowl or whatever.
You can go to the Duke's Mayo Bowl, but you got to clean that shit off by the next week if you win it. Like it's going to get sticky and weird. It's going to get sticky and weird. All right, so let's talk about the upcoming round of the playoffs. And the very first game we're going to see is Wednesday, December 31st, New Year's Eve. and it is the Cotton Bowl in Texas, where, man, oh man, did I think Ohio State was going to have to deal with kind of home cooking there down in Arlington. They're not. It's going to be Ohio State versus Miami. And sure, Miami fans will show up there, but it's going to be a pretty heavy Ohio State presence there at the Cotton Bowl. So Ohio State, Miami, and the Cotton Bowl. Let's just talk about this game. It's a really good Miami defense. I don't know if they're great on the back end, but they're physical. They are certainly good up front. That pass rush is very good. Their run defense is good. Again, the wide receivers, I think, are going to have to get around for Ohio State, are going to have to get around a physical presence in the defensive backfield. I just don't think they're great at coverage. But you've got that against then you've got the Ohio State defense, which is number one in the country at pretty much a lot of things, versus this Miami offense that things couldn't have gone much better for them against A&M, and they scored 10 points. Like, I don't know. Ohio State's got to feel pretty good going into this game. You just can't. The only thing that scares me, Chad, about Miami is that that defensive line, that front seven can create havoc. And I'm afraid Miami could force like some turnover points, and that would be a real problem for Ohio State. Otherwise, Ohio State is just the better team everywhere.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I think that's the one concern, right, is the rest. It is the rest coming off the bye week. How good of a start can Ohio State get out to, right? Because if you let Miami hang around, kind of like you did Indiana, if you let them hang around,
yes,
Miami can beat you. And so I think it's important that Ohio State come out same intensity that they did last year. Obviously, they're going to, but that is my biggest fear of this game is Miami getting a big kick return, right? If they locale or whatever his name is, gets a big return and Miami gets points off of there. Like you said, turnovers. If Miami can muck this game up and make it like a 13-10 game, I think it's going to spell trouble for Ohio State. But if Ohio State can just just return to the just getting their rhythm, getting their offensive rhythm right away, and then defensively, Miami doesn't scare me whatsoever.
Not at all
with this Ohio State defense. So, So if they can manage to do that, get into a rhythm early, get out to a fast start, Ohio State should win this game comfortably.
I feel like if you're Ohio State, you go out there and you score 24 points, and you comfortably win the game,
right?
But you got to go out there and play your offensive game. That it's the only. And again, maybe this is just the PTSD from the Michigan years, and obviously they got past it. But then I've got PTSD from that Indiana game, and it was like, why didn't you do this and that differently? Sure. If you go out there and think we're just going to be conservative and we're just going to kind of run the ball and try to get through this game as quick as possible, that's the only thing that makes me nervous about Miami is if you let Ruben Bain have a shot to be a game changer in this game, he can be a game changer in this game. Don't do that. Just go out and play your game, play the same way you played against Penn State or Michigan or whatever, and you should pretty easily walk away with the victory in this game. If you allow it to come down to that other stuff, if you decide to put on your most conservative coaching hat, you could lose this game. I don't think they will. I think Ohio State wins it. I think Ohio State wins it comfortably, but I hope they don't put it to chance.
Something that's going to be interesting too is Ryan Day's taking over play calling for the CFP.
All that.
So I'm very interested to see how that plays out.
I think Hartline's still there.
Yeah.
But Ryan Day is taking over the play calling.
Right.
Which is fine. That's cool. All right, next game. So the first game on New Year's Day. I love this bowl game. I love the fact that it's the Orange Bowl because these two teams couldn't have to go further away to go to this game. The Orange Bowl, this is, I'll be honest with you, it's the game I'm most excited about in this next round of the playoffs. It is Texas Tech. It is Oregon. I'm just going to let you talk about it, Chad. The Orange Bowl in Miami, I'm pumped for this game.
Yeah, this should be a wild one. Baron Morin and that Texas Tech offense has a lot of firepower on it. Same thing with Dante Moore and that Oregon offense, especially now that they have those two. I can't remember their names right now, but there are two other receivers that are healthy now. Yeah, this should be a wild back and forth game. I think defensively, Texas Tech is just a little bit better than Oregon. Like I said, I think when I compare these two teams and look at the personnel and look at the talent that they have on both sides of the ball, to me, Texas Tech and these programs are both similar, but Texas Tech is just kind of an elevated version of Oregon, right? I think Dante Moore is the better quarterback, but I think Baron Morin and company are better collectively on the offensive side of the football, and then Jacob Rodriguez is just Tasmanian devil defensively for Texas Tech. So I expect this to be a wild back and forth 42-35 type of game. And I think whoever it feels like a game, like whoever has the one big turnover or whoever has the ball last is going to win. It's going to come down to it's going to come down to a play you're going to look at and then be like, that's the game changing play right there.
I feel like if a team hits 40, Oregon's going to win the game. I feel like if a team wins it in the 20s, it's going to be Texas Tech. That's how I feel about this game.
Yeah.
I agree with you on so many things. Texas Tech, obviously the better defense. They have been unbelievable. And everybody's like, yeah, but the level of competition or whatever, I think Texas Tech's defense is as for real as it gets.
Yeah.
One thing that I think you left out there is I think Oregon's offense is much better than Texas Tech's offense. I think there's firepower there for Texas Tech. I do think there is, but I think the firepower is exponentially better for Oregon. So that, to me, it feels like if the offenses get going in this game, Texas Tech won't be able to keep up with Oregon. I feel like if it's the defenses that kind of control the game, then Oregon's in trouble. So I'm taking Oregon in this game. And that's a change for me because I was bought into Texas Tech, but I also think Oregon is playing this brand of football from when they got just dog walked by Ohio State last year. I think they remember it. And I think Oregon is just going to be a better football team.
See, I guess the one thing that makes me think that Texas Tech can win this game in the 40s as well is that defense. That Oregon defense is not great. It's not great at all. And
it's not
I
great.
And I think that, this Texas Tech offense can put up 30 or 40 points against them as well. It's just a matter of can they get the stops defensively.
I think they can. I just think if it gets to that point and the two teams are like trading haymakers, Oregon's offense has more haymakers than Texas Tech's does.
Yeah.
So, but again, I think it's a great matchup, and I love the fact that it's nowhere near either one of these damn schools.
Yeah.
Like, it's significantly farther away from Eugene, Oregon as it is from Lubbock, Texas. But when you're in Lubbock, Texas, everything is far away from you. So it's just a wild one. All right. So we've got the Orange Bowl, Texas Tech, Oregon. We've got obviously Ohio State, Miami. What's the next game? What's the
Ole Miss and Georgia?
Is it Ole Miss and Georgia in the Sugar Bowl? I love that too.
Wait, no. It's Indiana and Alabama.
The Rose Bowl. You're right.
Oh yeah, Ole Miss and Georgia is the night game.
Oh, the third game out in Pasadena. It is Indiana, Alabama. Talking about two teams that are nowhere close to where the game is being played, but a classic place. Alabama, not a foreigner to playing in the Rose Bowl. Indiana, certainly. It's been a minute since they've stepped foot in the Rose Bowl to play a meaningful game. Obviously, Indiana comes in number one. Alabama comes in looking like they've figured some stuff out, Chad. So what do you think about this game, Indiana, Alabama?
Listen, I know I keep talking about Daly, the Indiana defense missing Daly, but he's just such a huge part of that defense. I think that's a huge loss for this Indiana defense. But I don't, like we talked to Mecca last week, I still don't know how for real Indiana is.
Yes.
Right. I think they're legit, and but I don't know what version of Alabama. This is the one game that just kind of has me baffled. Right. I don't know which version of Alabama we're going to get. Is Indiana going to come in and be able to shut down Ty Simpson, and I don't know. I don't know what to make of this game.
Man, I'm overly simplifying, but I really just feel like this is how this game is going to go. I think there's a lot of things in this game that are very similar. I think both teams are good defensively. I think Indiana obviously showed it against Ohio State how good they are defensively. I think this game comes down to, is Fernando Mendoza NFL quarterback number one, ready to go guy, or is he not? That's what I feel like in this game. Fernando Mendoza, I think, is the X factor in this game. It's not the defense. It's not the receivers. It's not the running backs. It's not the offensive line. I don't think it's any of that. I think there's a lot of very evenly matched up things going on here.
Yeah.
But I think for me, this is for Fernando Mendoza show, and I should be the number one overall pick. And I'm going to come out here. Same thing with
Ty Simpson. People think they're 1 and 2 quarterbacks.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I've paid a lot of attention to that. I think Ty Simpson has fallen way off from that conversation. Sure. Right. But I really think it's
jerk. How about that?
Hell yeah, I am. I think this is the Fernando Mendoza show, Chad. I think this is, if he comes out and puts on a show and he's the number one draft pick in the NFL, he's going to show it in this game. If it goes different, if it goes haywire, it's going to give a lot of people something to think about. We got a team here in Cleveland. It's going to have a lot to think about. But I tend to think, Chad, I think Indiana's just got something about them that's going to get this game. I think they have the kind of that swagger and X factor thing that Alabama doesn't.
Yeah.
That thing that Alabama's been missing all year long is kind of the exact thing that Indiana has. And there's no like exact word to put your finger on it and be like, this is what I'm talking about. It's just, I think Alabama doesn't have that moxie and swagger. And I think Indiana's going to come in with it. And I think they're going to get a win. I think Indiana's going to win that game.
Well, pin a rose on your nose, Mike.
Oh, thanks. Right.
No, yeah, sure. I could totally see that. I don't know. This game just feels like a game that it's a coin flip to me. It could go either way.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. I tend to think Mendoza will be the X factor in that game.
Sure.
Going back out to California, playing at the Rose Bowl, a place he's comfortable playing. I just tend to think he's going to be the X factor. So then that takes us. Last game is the Sugar Bowl, and I love the location of this game. I mean, New Orleans for Georgia versus Ole Miss. You can't ask for a better location than that. And listen, lots of shit was talked about Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss. And then obviously Ole Miss goes through a stretch without their starting quarterback in that game, and that was terrifying for them. But ultimately, everybody said they thought this game would be closer than the one they played earlier in the year. Fuck no. Ole Miss took the Tulane Green Wave to the woodshed in this game, dominated them from beginning to end. It was boring. This was the most boring. Everybody's like Texas A&M, Miami. That game was at least competitive. This was boring. This was just Ole Miss being like, yep, we're better. We're going to just be better. And that's what they were. And so now they get a Georgia team. And again, I think a lot of people have to remember this. This is a Georgia team that beat Ole Miss by a touchdown in Athens at Sanford Stadium between the hedges. Now we're on a neutral site. Now we're in New Orleans. This is going to be, both fan bases are going to show up to this game. It's an SEC heavyweight fight. Chad, Georgia, Ole Miss.
I think Trinidad Chambliss has a chip on his shoulder. I think he's the better quarterback. I think this entire Ole Miss team is going to play with an extra chip on their shoulder because of everything that happened, right? They want to prove that they don't need to prove anything, but they want this very badly.
Yes.
Despite how well Georgia is playing, and Georgia may very well win the football game because they've been playing very good football down the stretch themselves. Yes. Gunnar Stockton and company. I mean, this isn't the great Georgia defenses of the past, but they're still playing pretty well. I just think that kind of like how you said Indiana's got that little swagger to them, like that little. There's just something about them that just has it. I think Ole Miss going into these playoffs now has that same type of focus and swagger that
Yes.
that it's just going to put them over the edge here.
I so agree with you. I think Ole Miss has got the swagger to them. I think Trinidad Chambliss is ready for this. I think they are saying, fuck Lane Kiffin. We don't need his ass to make a run in this playoffs. I think all of that. And I think Georgia's going to win by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I just think Georgia's a better football team. I don't think Georgia played their best game the first time around against Ole Miss. I think Georgia is playing a much better brand of football than they were playing the first time around against Ole Miss. I don't want to give Lane Kiffin the credit of saying, oh, but his presence will be missed. But I do think his presence is going to be missed a little bit. And I think Georgia's walking through Ole Miss. I don't think Ole Miss. I think Georgia's defense is going to I think they're going to control things up front. I think Chambliss is going to be in a blender all game long. And I think Georgia's moving on.
All right.
So your Final Four, Chad. You picked Alabama, right?
I didn't really pick one.
I know you didn't. Who do you got in that game, you asshole?
Indiana.
So you've got Indiana against Texas Tech. I've got Indiana against Oregon. That would be a fascinating matchup. And then we both have Ohio State. I have them playing Georgia. You have them playing Ole Miss. That's how we see this going.
Boom.
Bam. All right. College football playoffs. Great conversation, Chad. That was great. Yeah. Let's do our asshole of the week, and then we'll move on to other things. So what do you got here, Chad? What do you got for an asshole of the week?
I don't have one.
What?
I don't have one.
Oh my God. I thought I have 2 because I thought for sure you were going to steal one of mine.
Oh, nice.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just handle the asshole of the week. So I'll do the goddamn heavy lifting here, Chad. You're still drunk and happy from your time in Bozeman.
Goddamn right I am. You're goddamn right I am. There was nothing assholish about anything this past weekend.
I love it for you.
Yeah.
All right. My first asshole of the week is the most perennial asshole of the week. The most assholed asshole of the week of all time here on the Garage Beers podcast. And God damn it, if he didn't try to just overstep everything he's ever done this week. But my asshole of the week was slated to be he got announced the night before on ESPN to be the guest picker on College Game Day, live from College Station, Texas, where he won a goddamn Heisman Trophy with 76,000 pounds of cocaine shoved up his nose. My asshole of the week is Johnny Manziel, who just fucking no-showed him.
Yeah.
College Game Day said, hey, do you want to be the guest picker of the week? And he was like, yes. And then what happened? First of all, let me talk about the aftermath. He comes out with a statement after he no-shows College Game Day. And he comes out with this statement that's like, everybody will have their narratives and perception is reality, but everybody knows that it was beyond my control. And blah, 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 blah. He's such a bitch. God, I hope he sees one of these some days. He's such a bitch. Oh, my God. The bitch of bitches. The ultimate bitch. And Johnny Manziel continued to be the ultimate bitch, making it, it's not my fault. It was beyond my control. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, was it beyond your control that you were taking pictures with porn stars at 2 a.m. in Miami the night before? You fucking asshole. Everybody knows you're coked up. You were drunk as hell, and you missed your goddamn flight, and you're trying to act like there was oh my God, it was something beyond my control. No, it wasn't. You just have never learned anything. You've never learned anything about anything. And now you no-showed College Game Day. You told him you were going to be there, and you no-showed it. Who no-shows College Game? The goddamn Undertaker doesn't no-show College Game Day.
Right.
They asked him to be on, and he's like, yes, I'm in.
And he's dead.
Yeah, the dead man. He makes his way. I don't know whether he drives or flies from Death Valley. Makes his way. And Johnny Manziel's like, but I was too drunk in Miami the night before. And I love how he tries to come out and say, they're going to say what they say. Bitch, you put pictures online. Bella Danger, the porn star, put pictures online of you and her at night at a club in Miami. But you're going to act like it was something else. I am so tired of this, dude, because it's only a matter of time before he comes out and he's like, well, it's really Cleveland's fault that I missed it because
for sure.
Cleveland added to my depression.
Yeah.
The snow added to my depression. My depression is so bad. It added to it. You know what added to it, you bitch? It's your cocaine habit. It's your cocaine habit, and it's all the alcohol. You piece of shit. He is my asshole of the week. He's my perennial asshole of the week. I also wanted to throw out there, and this is a conversation point real quick, Chad. I don't know whether I want to make my other asshole of the week DK Metcalf or the fan that was involved in an interaction with DK Metcalf.
Oh.
Chad, I think you're going to understand where I'm coming from here. I think it's very fair to say that a player should never punch a fan in the face.
Sure.
Like DK Metcalf did.
Sure.
Yesterday. However, you've been on the sidelines of a lot of sporting events, Chad. You've sat courtside at a lot of Cavs games running those cameras. You have been in the action at a lot of sporting events.
Yeah.
You've heard a lot of fans say a lot of things.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks a player should be able to get a shot off every now and then, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like just because you're a paying ticket holding fan, whatever, you don't get to just go say things.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what was said to DK Metcalf. All I will say is this, and I don't mean to stand up for a Pittsburgh Steelers, so don't get me wrong, but like, I don't remember ever a time where this guy has been a problem.
No.
I don't remember ever a time where this guy's been violent and arrested and whatever. His whole career has been pretty smooth sailing for DK Metcalf. So I think it's pretty wild to just assume that guy didn't say something way inappropriate and DK punched him in the face. Yeah. So for me, I'll let you chime in, Chad. But for me, my asshole of the week is the fan in the DK Metcalf situation because he clearly said something that set him off.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on what they say, right? I mean, I've heard some wild stuff, and I've heard some stuff that it was like, all right, player guy, why are you even paying any attention to that? Because clearly you're not focused on the game.
Yes.
So, I mean, it really just, for me, it just depends on what was said. But like, they should have like clauses in their contracts in these professional sports where like they like to call it like a retribution clause or something, where they get to do, punch one fan. They only get to use it once. Right, you get to punch one fan.
Yes,
for doing something, saying something. But outside of that,
I don't care how much money you paid. You don't get to just go sit in a stadium and say whatever you want.
Sure,
forget that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, heckle all you want. I mean, obviously, I mean, it's to be expected, but it's depending on what you say. It's quite the circumstantial situation, I would say. That's my final opinion.
How about not an asshole? How about Mason Marchment just scoring a goal again for the Blue Jackets?
Get
this guy in the house. All right. All right. So we've talked about college football. We've gone into asshole of the week. We'll just make this kind of quick hitters. Let's go to Chad. We've got 2 weeks left of the Brown season.
Thank God.
Thank the Lord. Is this worse than last year, Chad?
I don't know. I think combined, these are the worst two seasons since 1999.
That's a great question. Is this worse than 1-31?
Yeah. Yes. Because 1-31 was more tolerable. 1-31 was more tolerable because we knew those teams were going to be shit. With how much talent that there is on this Browns team and with how much it just fell apart after trading for a guy that you thought was going to be good, but that turned out to be just a giant dipshit in way more ways than one. Yeah, I think this is worse than 1-31, hands down. Right? I mean, the 1-31 was the devil we knew. This was the devil we didn't know.
I'm lost, dude, with this team. I'm lost with them. I don't have answers. Just start going down the list. Do I think Kevin Stefanski should be the coach anymore? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of me says hell no. Part of me says, yeah, maybe. Should Andrew Berry be the GM? More of me says yes than no, but you could sell me in either one.
I think this draft class saved him in some form or fashion.
Yeah, I agree because it was amazing. Yeah. Could Shedeur Sanders be a quarterback? Yeah, I think he can, but I don't know. I watched him. My biggest takeaway of this game against the Buffalo Bills, the Browns played a good goddamn football game against the Buffalo Bills, 23-20. They played good. They played a good football game. Shedeur Sanders, when he was playing within the structure of the offense they wanted to run, I think was great. The minute they had to come back, though, he was terrible. The minute it was they're behind, they're going to have to pull a comeback, he was terrible. So do I think they can skip out? Not right now, Chad. The Cleveland Browns, if the draft happened today, the Cleveland Browns would have the third pick.
Yeah.
Can you skip on a quarterback? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. And I've been I have been firmly entrenched in let's run it back with Shedeur Sanders. Let's let him have a full offseason, and let's get wide receivers and linemen and just build this shit up, and let's let him run with it. He hasn't given me that, though. He's not been bad. Don't get me wrong. He's not been bad. He's been the best of the quarterbacks we've seen for the Browns this year. But when he is left to his devices, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
When he is locked into the tunnel, just you go this way, and when he's being told what to do, it's been good. But the minute it's all right, you're going to have to create. It's oh, cool, 14-yard sack.
Right.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You cannot go into another season. You can't. If Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza is there at 3, assuming you still have 3, you might have 2 at that point.
Right.
Because you're going to lose the next 2 games. I think you got to take a quarterback. I think you have to.
You have to, right? There's certain plays that stick out in my mind that make me think Shedeur, let's see what this kid can do with a actual full off season as the starter and weapons around him. But there's also the other part where he's last in every statistical category that you look at in the analytical side of things. So I don't. He's done enough for me to want to see more, but he also hasn't done enough for me to think that he can be the franchise. So,
and when you don't have that guy in the roster and you're going to have a top 3 pick, you can't chance it. You got to get your guy. You got to get a guy. You got to get a guy.
I know. And that's what's making me think that it should be a quarterback at 2 or 3 or whatever we have.
Here's the thing that scares me about Shedeur. The thing that scares me is I just think that when the coaches are in his ear constantly, this is what you should do, he's really good at it. I think he's taken really well to coaching. I just don't know that it has changed his natural tendencies on how to be a quarterback. That's the thing that scares me, is I think he went into this Buffalo game thinking, take what the defense gives me and let's roll with it. And he did, and he was so good at it all game. But the minute it was okay, well, maybe we need to start forcing the ball down the field a little bit more, he reverted right back to all the things that terrify you about him. And there isn't it's like he's picking. It's like an open notebook test where he's picking up on what they're telling him, and he's like learning what they're telling him, but it's not affecting his like natural instincts. And his natural instincts are disastrous in the NFL. They're disastrous.
Right. And that's one thing that might be able to be adjusted and fixed with a full offseason as the starter. It might be able to be fixed, but can you take that chance? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And I want to. Go draft that tackle out of Utah, and then draft, I don't give a shit, Concepcion or Tyson.
Chris Bell is a guy I'm intrigued with.
Yes, Chris Bell. Go get one of those guys. Go draft another offensive lineman. Draft another. I would love to do that, but I don't think you can. I think Dante Moore is going to be sitting there, and I think you got to take him, bring him back home, bring him back to. He was born in East Cleveland, grew up in Elyria. Bring him home.
I will say that something that's encouraged me. Yeah.
Go on,
then. This rookie class, man. This rookie class feels like
unbelievable,
especially when they played, how they played. It's yesterday. It's fucking Monday. How they played yesterday. It feels like that they played like a foundation of something. Like it actually felt like something is being built. So and that's what makes me think that Barry is safer than people think he is.
I agree. So Chad, I agree with you, but take that a step further. We got 2 games left. They're playing Pittsburgh at home this week. Could they win that game? Yeah. I don't know what that Pittsburgh team is. They're the number 1 team in the AFC North.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. And then they play a Cincinnati team that's playing pretty good football right now. So like the Browns end up 3-14 again. What needs to happen if that happens, Chad? Like don't get too deep with it. This is just Chad Meyer. What should the Browns do? What should Jimmy Haslam do if the Browns finish back-to-back seasons 3-14?
Fire Kevin Stefanski.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that's the first step.
I agree. I agree, and I agree, but I'm going to take it a step further. It's fire step Kevin Stefanski and everybody else.
Oh well, yeah, and the entire coaching staff. For sure.
It includes Jim Schwartz. I know people get so worked up on that, but nope. Yeah, you don't get to stay. It includes all of the coaching staff. It includes everybody, and then here's my thing. Remember that when they made their last turnover, they hired Stefanski first. And Stefanski was a part of hiring Andrew Berry.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what Andrew Berry has finding a guy.
Sure.
Because the last time they were hiring a coach, well, not the last time, but they had Paul DePodesta in. He's gone. And we all know Kevin Stefanski was a big Paul DePodesta guy. He's also a big me guy. I love Kevin Stefanski, but he's got to go if you're going to be 3-14. You can't just be bad a couple of years in a row like that.
Right.
But the time before that, they had Mr. Football guy, John Dorsey himself, that said, no, we don't want Campbell. We want Freddie Kitchens.
Right.
Well, that didn't work out.
Right.
Andrew Berry hasn't had a chance to try to build a staff. So I would give him a chance to build a staff. It pains me. I would love Kevin Stefanski to be the coach here for 20 years. But you can't just suck and act like it's not a big deal.
Right.
And unfortunately his teams suck and they're acting like it's not a big deal. I think the coach, I'm with you, Chad. I think regardless, if they win one more game, I don't really care. The coaching staff has to go.
Yeah.
You got to bring something else in here. Don't get me started on the conversation between a football guy versus an analytics guy or whatever. That's so stupid. Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions are about to miss the playoffs, and you're going to yell at me about a football guy. just get the right guy. Get a guy in here that knows how to coach a football team. Get the assistants here that are the right guys, and then get the players around them. Like it's not easy to do, but also it's not fucking rocket science the way the Browns have made it look like since 1999.
Look at the home run hire that the Bears made. They've gone from worst to first in the NFC North.
Yes,
it can
100%,
be done.
100%. All right. Just real quick around the NFL. It's a weird year in the playoffs, Chad.
Sure is.
Kansas City eliminated.
Yeah.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Patrick Mahomes obviously out for the year. That doesn't help their cause.
Nah.
The Lions are about to be eliminated. If the Lions were to make the playoffs, they'd have to win their last two games, and they need everybody else to lose.
Right. Yeah.
That is not going to happen. The Lions are not going to make the playoffs. That is wild.
Yeah.
How about the petty shit from the head coach Duval of the Jacksonville Jaguars? Did you see this?
The
Jed?
small market comment. Yeah.
Small market comment. Which, by the way, that is Sean Payton sounds like a fucking moron. Jacksonville's the biggest city in Florida, but no, you're right. Small market team. Nailed it. I love that. I love Liam Cohen saying, well, I'm just glad a small market team like us were able to come into Mile High and get a win.
Yeah, he's a fucking nerd, but that was like that was awesome.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was great. Just kind of right now the playoff picture, because it's kind of clearing up, Chad.
Yeah.
In the AFC, there's 9 teams vying for 7 spots. So Denver locked into the playoffs, they're 12-3. New England locked into the playoffs, they're 12-3. Jacksonville 11-4. Pittsburgh 9-6. Those are your division leaders. And then the other 3 spots belong to the Los Angeles Chargers. Got a big win this week. The Buffalo Bills, that was a huge win for them over the Browns. And the Houston Texans 10-5. Nobody has talked about them all season, and Houston's about to make the playoffs.
Because nothing about them's been sexy. Like nothing about their wins or the way they play is sexy at all.
Right. So the 2 teams that are on the outside looking in are the Indianapolis Colts and Phillip Rivers. How's that game going, by the way?
San Fran just went up 34-20. So it doesn't look good.
Indy's out.
Yeah.
And Baltimore is probably out.
Yeah.
But they're technically still alive.
Yeah.
But I think your playoff is pretty set there in the AFC. On the other side, Chad, the NFC, it's even tighter. It's only really 8 teams for 7 spots.
Yeah.
So you've got Seattle locked in at 12-3, Chicago locked in at 11-4.
Let's go.
Philly 10-5. They're locked in. How about Carolina is in first place in that division because apparently we're back to bad Baker Mayfield.
Bad Baker.
Every time Baker's in a contract year, it's like, I don't think we can, or not a contract year, but like a pre-contract year. It's like, I don't think we can extend it.
Right.
Here he is again. Carolina is getting ready to win the NFC South. The Rams locked in at 11-4. The 49ers are locked in. They're going to be 11-4 after tonight. And then Detroit's going to get eliminated. So the team vying to get in is Green Bay. They should be the last team in. So like the NFC playoff picture is pretty locked in. So like Chad,
it's just jockeying for position in the NFC now, right? Because there's different scenarios. Because you mentioned three of those teams are in the NFC West. So it's like who's going to get the first seed, who's going to be the wild card teams. So it's it's so San Fran still has some work to do here in the last 2 games. But
I just think it's really interesting, Chad, because we've gone into so many of the last few years, last 3 years, going, okay, Kansas City, boom, or Detroit, boom, or San Francisco, boom, or like Baltimore, whatever. And like it, so this year seems to be the question of like, do you believe in it or not?
Yeah.
Do you believe Denver, New England, Seattle, Chicago can be a team that makes a run to a Super Bowl? Or are we going to see the likes of Philadelphia go, yeah, maybe we struggled a bit through the year, but we know what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Or I don't know, Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo's going to go in as a road team in the first round of the playoffs.
Buffalo is so weird to me Buffalo's a weird team. Do you know they're 1-6 against teams against the spread against teams below 500?
Yes,
and then
like against the Browns.
Yeah, and then Josh Allen is not premier Josh Allen against those teams. He's got to wait for the big matchups to be able to be like elite Josh Allen. It's a weird team to me. Another thing, how about the Patriots? How about the Patriots this year? Yeah. Nobody ever saw that coming.
No,
I think Kyle Shanahan should be coach of the year with the job that he's done with how many injuries that team has sustained.
Yes.
It's a bit of a weird year, but yeah, it's the NFL. Crazy shit happens in the NFL every year.
Chad, we'll do an official playoff prediction preview show. But you heard me go through all those teams. What team's the favorite to win the Super Bowl right now, Chad?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I know.
I don't believe in anybody in the AFC. I think it's going to come out of the NFC. I don't know, with the way the Rams are. The Rams are just red hot right now. I would put them as the favorite. That LA Seattle game the other night was like unbelievable. But yeah, I think I don't know who stands out to me yet in the NFC, but I think the Super Bowl winner is going to come from that conference.
Yeah, to me, the two favorites are Buffalo and the Rams.
Oh, you think Buffalo? Huh?
Yeah, but I think this is the year that Buffalo. Kansas City's not in the way. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even about the AFC versus the NFC, Chad. I'm looking at the AFC and going, do I think Buffalo can steamroll New England? Yes. Do I think Buffalo can steamroll Denver? Yes. Do I think Buffalo can steamroll Jacksonville? Yes. Do I think Buffalo can steamroll Pittsburgh? Yes. I think this AFC is tailor-made for Buffalo. I think it's tailor-made for Buffalo. Oh, I don't think so. I think it's all Buffalo.
I think with the way Jacksonville's playing, the thing with me is Buffalo's defense, right? I know the X factor here is Josh Allen, but Buffalo's got the worst run defense in the league. They're especially if they're missing Christian Benford for any amount of time, their best defensive back. Like, they're pretty good against the pass outside of that, but I don't know. I don't know if their defense can step up in playoff time. But yes, the X factor is Josh Allen. But I don't think it's. I don't know that Buffalo can.
I get what you're saying, but I look at the team and I go, yeah, that's the favorite. Like,
sure. Well, it's like you have a lot of unknowns, right? Like kind of like Indiana. How for real is Jacksonville?
Right.
Like, all right. So how for real is New England?
We're not going to find out until playoff time, which is super exciting. But all right, Browns playing the Steelers. Anything you want to talk about there?
Nope.
Me neither. And also, we're not doing a show next week, so Browns are also going to play the Bengals. Anything you want to talk about there?
Nope.
God, I love this team. I love being a fan of the Browns. Isn't it fun?
I hate it so much.
Isn't it super fun?
I mean, yeah, it's great.
It fucking sucks.
It does. I just yeah.
I should.
Like you said last week, I'm never not going to be a fan, but I like I said, I don't have the bandwidth to really like get all up in arms and emotional about like this team anymore, right? I mean, it just that's I'm not going to go on the same rant, but just fix my fucking football team. Like, I don't care about the
but also, if you don't, fuck off. I didn't go to. Hey, guess what? I didn't go to a game this year. Did you?
No, sure didn't.
Cool. Yeah. I've been to Cavs games. I've already been to several Cavs games.
Right.
I went to a bunch of Guardians games.
Yeah, same.
Guess where I didn't go this year? Hey,
Browns.
Hey, fucking asshole of the week again. Hey, J.W. Johnson, and by way of Jimmy Haslam, guess what game I didn't go to this year? The fucking Cleveland Browns. Guess where I'm going to go? When the WNBA has a team in Cleveland, guess where I'm going to go? WNBA games. When the women's professional soccer league has a team in Cleveland, guess where I'm going to go? I'm going to take my kids and we're going to go watch those games. We're going to support that team. Guess where I don't go? Browns games.
The Browns games. It's not worth it.
Not worth it. It's just the thought of going to a game is atrocious.
Yeah, this team. I'm speaking as far as from a city standpoint. This team does not deserve another red cent of anybody's money until they figure their shit out. At all. 25, like, you got to make a stand at some point, and 25 years has been enough.
Man, I am as hard on the Cleveland Guardians organization as anybody. I'm going to go to those games because at least there's a level of understanding that I have for the way they operate, and I don't like it, but I get it, and I respect what they have to do, even though it's bullshit. The Browns? Hey, J.W. Johnson, you remember when you tweeted out after they beat the Packers? You were like taunting people. You stupid fuck. Oh, where the haters at? Where the haters at now, bro? Where's the haters at, bro?
You deserve to be hated, bitch tits.
Hey, bro, where the haters at? Oh, want to hear what the haters gonna say now? Oh, cool. That was the last fucking win. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
God. Oh, right. God. I
don't want a postseason press conference. I just don't. Just fix my fucking football team. That's all I want. Luckily, I'll have the Bears in the playoffs. Luckily, I've got the Bears.
Fire everybody. Fire them all.
Yeah.
All right, Chad. Let's get out of here. Columbus, the Blue Jackets,
in
Mason
LA right now.
We haven't talked about the Mason Marchment trade on the show, but that's.
Quick synopsis.
That was a stunner.
Quick synopsis. Great trade. This is a guy that Don's been after for quite a while, ever since the Carolina days. He's a legacy, right? Brian Marchment is one of the biggest enforcers of all time in the NHL.
Yep.
And he's not short on size. He's physical. He's got a motor like no other. He's got a nose for the net, right? He finds the net at some point, right? He's got a good head on his shoulders as far as being in the right place at the right time when it comes to scoring goals. The things that worry me about him, and that I don't know if he's a natural fit in Columbus, is he turns the puck over a lot.
He sure does.
And when you have a team that is having the troubles in the third period that this team does, as this Columbus Blue Jack team does, you can't have a guy forcing turnovers or causing turnovers and taking bad penalties. So if he can correct that, and if he likes it, I would love him. His positive attributes outweigh his negatives, but those negatives are pretty big. But if he likes it here, I would gladly sign him to an extension here in Columbus. You're welcome. We'll sit down. Mason, have my people call your people, or your.
Let's have a conversation about your extension. It'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
The only other things I had marked down, Chad, were full on in at Major League Baseball offseason, and maybe this should also be asshole of the week. The Guardians keep putting out there that they're in the market for this slugger, this right-handed outfield slugger. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Can we just talk real quick? They're not in the market. So they're going to land some dude. They're going to land some guy that hit 247 in fucking Colorado last year with 18 homers. And they're going to be like, this is the guy we wanted. Yeah, that's Nolan Jones. I'm a little stunned the way this offseason has gone, Chad. Not stunned in I'm not super surprised. They've pulled in a bunch of relief pitchers. So great for them, I guess. But I just thought going into this offseason, especially with the fact that you're not going to have Clase and you're not going to have Ortiz, there's money that gets freed up there. I guess I went into this offseason thinking, all right, they're not going to sign anybody to a $300 million contract, but
right.
There's going to be a decent player out there, and then just nothing. Just nothing. They have not addressed the offense at all. There's no offensive addressing.
You know what really put me over the edge with this is when I saw the Phillies sign Adolis Garcia to the 1 year, $10 million deal. Right. That's what pisses me off about this Guardians team, right? I know he doesn't have the best plate discipline, right? But he's like a 20 home run, 25 double, 25 stolen base type of guy. He's got a lot. He's got pop in the outfield.
You don't think you could help?
And I see things like Castellanos, like that. I see this thing that Philly's basically just trying to beg people to trade for him.
Right.
And he'd be a 1-year rental. Like, and this is what I'm talking about. Just try. That's all I'm saying. Like, no one's asking you to do anything crazy. Adolis Garcia, however you say his fucking name, 1 year, $10 million deal. Adolis Garcia, Nick Castellanos, 1 year rental for $20 million. That would be you trying. Everybody, like any rational Guardians fan, knows that you're not going to spend the big bucks on free agents, right? But something like this is you actually trying to win a championship. There's always these fringe guys available, and they're available every offseason. There's always these fringe guys that can be had for 10, 15, 20, $25 million that have had productive years in the league before. Maybe they're coming off a bad year, but who've been productive in the league that can help this ball club, and they just refuse to do it. And that's just what it's. Yeah.
Well, you're coming off a year where you were in the ALCS 2 years ago. You were in the ALDS last year. You won the division championship 2 years in a row. And Chad, I don't know how it's going to wind up, but it looks like they're going to slash payroll again. Like they're about to go into this season with a payroll from the team from 1993. I don't give a shit. I agree that baseball is broken. I agree that there is a baseball problem, but there's also a Cleveland Guardians problem. This is bullshit.
Right?
To act like you and to flaunt the fact. All season you flaunted the fact that you had great attendance. You were breaking attendance records. Everything was great. But now you don't have money to you can't add to the team. No. Right. Don't even suggest it. We're getting gaslit by our hometown baseball team, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So, again, I know there's a lot of people that'll be like, "Well, what do you want him to do? Who do you want him to go get? Fucking somebody."
Those fringe guys, exactly the guys I talked about. I don't know the names, but those fringe guys that I just talked about.
Did Mason Marchman just score another goal, by the way?
Huh? Yes. Yes, he did.
Just scored his second goal of the night. Fuck yeah. Go on.
Yes, he did.
Anyways, it dawned on me, Chad, that as we get here to the last week of December, we're like weeks away from spring training, and they're just adding nothing. They're just going to add nothing. It's going to be nothing. You're going to watch the Cleveland Guardians trot Brian Rocchio out there again next year, and he's going to have 3 good weeks of baseball. You're going to watch the Cleveland Guardians trot Gabriel Arias out there, who's going to kind of be okay sometimes. You're going to watch the Cleveland Guardians. You're not going to get an extension for Stephen Kwan. He's gone after this year. You might as well enjoy him, in the words of the almighty owner who does nothing. Paul Dolan doesn't even know anybody who even plays for this team. We're just there. We're there.
Right.
And it's a bummer. It's a bummer that we're going, I've watched. I think what the bummer is for me, Chad, is I've had the same expectation all the way around. I hate the way the Guardians operate. I know people make all the excuses. They make so many excuses for them, but I hate the way they operate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I watched this offseason specifically, especially with Gamblergate that happened. And, they're going to have this money freed up, and they're going to have this money freed up, and they really want these right-handed power bats and blah, 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 blah. And the whole way through, Chad, I went, no, the fuck they don't.
Yeah.
No, the fuck they don't. They don't. The right-handed power bat is going to be like, hey, Nolan Jones, can you just hit from the other side of the plate?
Yeah. They're probably doing nothing, I'm guessing, because they're expecting the impending lockout. Which, honestly, I don't care how long it lasts. Come back to for the salary cap.
Correct. I agree. But like, I'm tired of the people that just are going to blindly, furiously stand up for this team when there are reasons they shouldn't.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know they've been good, but they've done, the Guardians have revamped during the biggest part of free agency this offseason. The Guardians have revamped their middle relievers. So that's what they've done. And that is it. All right, Chad, let's get out of here. Let's do our cheers of the week. You didn't have an asshole of the week. You better have a cheers of the week. Somebody that's been cool this week, please.
I've got 2 cheers of the week. And I'm leaning into my Bears fandom here. The first cheer is going to go to DJ Moore. Did you know that DJ Moore has never had a winning season in his entire football career since high school? And this is his first ever winning season that he's going to have. So cheers to you, DJ Moore.
Go on, Deej.
Cheers to you. And then my other cheers goes to the grade A troll that a lot of people aren't talking about that Caleb Williams did to the Packers, handing out food at a local shelter with a foam cheese grater head on.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a whole thing.
That was awesome. Yeah, so the cheese grater head. Way to go, Caleb. Iceman. Iceman.
Way to go, bruh. My cheer is going to go to my football team might have been a bitch this last week, but I watched my school win a national championship yesterday.
Oh yeah, volleyball, right?
I fucking watched it. It was electric.
Yeah.
They beat 3 number 1 seeds through the playoffs.
Yeah.
To win that championship. They beat Nebraska in Nebraska. And I don't know if you know anything about women's college volleyball, but Nebraska is like fucking Ohio State in women's college volleyball. They are the premier program, and A&M went in there and took them down.
Right.
And then they just marched on. They took down Pitt. And then they took down yesterday. They took down Kentucky for a national championship. So, hey, it's a weird thing because A&M's a massive athletic department, maybe the biggest one with all the money, but they just don't win a lot of national championships. So how about those girls that got out there and won it? So that's the cheers for me.
Go.
My last cheers is this.
Go, Ag Gals.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take that. My last cheers is this. Just Christmas week. I love it. I think people get stressed out. I don't. This is one of my favorite times of the year. My kids are happy. My wife is happy. My wife's stressed a little bit, but I do a lot to try to help relieve it. But just the magic of Christmas. My son is getting to the point where maybe we're going to have the conversation on what's real and what isn't, because he's starting to question it. My daughter is just enveloped in it. The gifts and the presents and the family, and I love it. I love it, and I love doing it in Northeast Ohio. Love doing it in the snow, the weather, whatever. This time of the year is one of my favorites, and that kind of brings me to just wishing all of you just the most very Merry Christmas, and hopefully you're able to enjoy it. Hopefully you're able to disconnect from all the fucking bullshit, whether it's your sports teams being dog shit, whether it's your sports teams being good, but you're kind of stressed about it, whether it's politics and these fucking old ass white men that are acting like dicks and not doing the best thing for all of us, whether it's just stress at your job or whatever. I just hope you can just have a great holiday, a great Christmas. I always feel like, Chad, this is the best time of the year to remind yourself what's important.
For sure.
And for me, you kind of broke the news a couple weeks ago, but I just left a job that I've been at for almost 14 years, and I did it for the things that are important. And It's a scary thing. It's frightening, the path ahead, but I get to be with my kids and my wife every night, and that's something I haven't been able to do forever. And I hope you all are. I hope everybody is able to just kind of experience like this is why I do this moment, this holiday. What are
And
you
after,
gonna do?
and after the holidays, she's going to be like, can you go back on the road?
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I've said that to her 1,000 times. I'm like, are you sure you don't want me to travel for work? You want me to be here?
Yeah.
She likes me, Chad. I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, fucking weird. She's got judgment issues. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Anyways, that's going to do it. Look at Chad's ready for bed. I'm ready for bed. That's going to do it for episode 295 of the Garage Beers podcast. Let's just do our thank yous, and then we will get out of here. First thank you goes out to the OBR again. We were not live tonight, but the OBR hosted us on the podcast service and on YouTube, Twitch, all that. So big shout out to the OBR. Get over to the OBR.com, hit subscribe so that you can join the oldest, largest independent Browns coverage site in all of Cleveland. Next thank you goes out to all of you. Everybody that is watching this. Again, no, we're not live. Sad that we're not catching all the comments, but we love that you tune in every single week. We do this for you all the time. And then just very personally, big time thank you goes out to Chad, goes out to Joey. This has been just my favorite project I've ever worked on in my whole life. And we're going on 6 years of it. And yeah, it's my favorite. So love you guys. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas. And Chad, I hope Santa brings you everything you want. What's your number one gift from Santa? What is it?
Ooh, man.
What do you want? What do you want? What's the big gift?
Just for everybody to leave me alone for a day. That'd be about it. Yeah, just leave me alone one day.
Hey, Dad, Fletcher, shut the fuck up.
I'm on vacation. Like, you ever see remember the episode of Married with Children where Al goes on vacation and he just puts the dog gate against the couches? Like, that's what I want to do.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, hey, I hope you get a few moments of peace and quiet.
Yeah, thank you.
Otherwise, I hope you, the missus, the kids have a great Christmas.
Same to you, buddy.
Obviously, the same thing out to Joe in Seattle, and same thing out to all of you that joined us. So that's going to do it for episode 295. Joey's not here, but we're going to call him out anyways. For Joey out in Seattle, for Chad Meyer over on the east side of Cleveland at Garage Beers Chad, I am Michael Keefe at Garage Beers Mike. Go follow the show at the Garage Beers on all the socials, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. Again, we won't be here next week, but we'll see you in 2 weeks. Until then, as always, cheers, everybody.